Happiness. I'm Tamara, also known as Tam, joined by my lovely co-host, Erin Shimone.
Hey!
And today is Mother's Day!
Yay!
Happy Mother's Day, everyone!
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Tam.
Yes, we love Mother's Day. It's a fantastic day to celebrate, obviously, all the wonderful people that we hope are in this community
Absolutely.
celebrating with us. Man, where do we start with Mother's Day?
Yeah, well, we're talking a lot about what to talk about today on this special day, and we did a lot of reflection on just being a mom and what that means and what we really want for Mother's Day, right?
Right. If this is a gift guide episode you're looking for, this is not that.
That's true. We're gonna go a little deeper here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, where I was reflecting on just kind of where the motherhood journey and how many ups and downs it is. I feel, you start out with that first kid and your identity feels like it's been ripped away
Gone.
to some degree, right? And we both love being moms.
Absolutely.
I love, it's my greatest joy, right? And I love it. But there's harder times. Sometimes they're harder than others,
Absolutely,
right?
if you're just being honest.
I remember just feeling, you just get so caught up. Those first, 3-4 years of your children's lives are just so tough, and you really just don't have a lot of time. And you just get I became really engrossed in my kids' lives.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Just worrying about their sleep and their eats and their poops and,
Tracking sleep schedules becomes your hobby.
Oh my gosh.
When
Yes.
do you pump becomes a hobby?
Yes.
You
I mean,
know?
truly, for a long time it did. And then you come out of that fog when they finally start sleeping regularly and you get on that routine and things calm down a little bit. You get through the potty training.
Oh my God.
And then you're like, okay, now, I want to go find myself again a little bit, find some time for me. But it's so hard because you just spent 4 or 5 years worrying about this little person all the time. And so to switch gears and go back to that feels extremely selfish. Yeah.
It does. And it's unfairly selfish
Yeah.
because, obviously it shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's just this fog that you get into of survival. Honestly, Erin, you were triggering me.
Yeah.
You
You forget.
You kind of
Yeah.
do. Do you think that's nature? Do you
Yes,
think nature makes
definitely.
you forget so you'll do it again?
Definitely.
That's how we ended up with 2.
Yeah.
Dang you, nature. But no, you're so right.
No, we love our kids.
It's... I love how you had to make sure. We swear we love you guys. If you're listening to this 20 years from now,
That's right. That's
you're
right.
the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
We're sorry. We
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah.
But no, there's a change, right? There's an absolute change that
Yeah.
occurs there, and your hobbies are surrounded by just taking care of a little person and figuring out the best snacks that are going to get you by through your travel, or if you do some sort of adventure with the kids, and
Yep.
like you said, the potty training, and the time that you have to yourself, you almost kind of use it for sleep because you're just trying to catch up on that,
definitely.
right? So it's, for me, I feel like that's where I think I solidified, because I don't think I had a lot of creativity growing up, but I feel like once I hit motherhood, I think that really solidified for me personally that I couldn't possibly be a creative person. I don't know how to be creative. Right now, my skills are management, and that's all I'm good at,
Yeah.
and just sticking to the black and white, right? And researching all the best ways to be the very best at these things, to make sure I'm not the first thing my kid talks about in therapy.
Yeah.
All of these things. And it's when you have days like Mother's Day, I feel like each year I've had them since being a mother, I feel like I'm reflecting on different things each year. And since we've started this podcast, I feel like the 2 things that I feel I've really been reflecting on most is trying to give myself grace and look for space to put just me in there in a way that doesn't make me feel like I'm wrong for doing it, right? And I think that's what a lot of our listeners, and I think even you would agree, is kind of something that you've been fighting in your journey of being a mom.
Definitely. I think giving yourself permission to take that time back, a little bit of time back for yourself and have your own identity, because not only is it going to bring you happiness, when mom's happy, everybody's happy, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you can make yourself feel better and you feel better just overall, then you're a better mom, you're a better worker, you're a better wife, whatever it is, whatever roles you have in your life, that all resonates with everybody around you. So it's
you can't fill from an empty cup,
That's
right?
right.
You can't bring the best version of yourself to the other areas of your life if you're just drained and on empty. Like if everybody else is thriving but you're not, that's not really creating success in your personal life or in your family dynamic. And you're right, like your family recognizes when you are in a place that is bringing your best self, right? And you get that by making sure you find that time for yourself. And, maybe Mother's Day is that opportunity for, our new listeners or even our current listeners to ask for that space. Like, okay, so here's your gift guide. If you want a gift guide, dang it. I said I wasn't going to do a gift guide episode. But maybe, if your family is like, what do you want for Mother's Day? And you haven't had that conversation with your family yet, maybe that's the day. You say, starting Mother's Day, I would like to find time to be able to find creativity back in my life and like start plugging away at that. I think your family would be more than willing to give that to you.
I think it could be, and it doesn't necessarily have to be creativity. It could be anything that makes you happy, right? Any sort of, good point. Like if you want to go have time every week to exercise or time every week to read alone, or you want a weekly date with your friends, just something that's like just for you that brings you joy.
Absolutely.
Just kind of find yourself again. Or, an actual Mother's Day, just having time alone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because like if I look at what hobbies look like, obviously now that my kids are kind of getting a little bit older and I've got this space, right? And I'm using this podcast to kind of hold me accountable, using you to hold me accountable to finding that time for creativity. Looking at like the hobbies that I have now versus what I don't even think I really can claim I had hobbies before,
Right.
I feel like I have more, I'm going to use this popular word that I feel like everyone's using, it's whimsy. I feel like I am like flushed with whimsy now in my life. And I am a naturally kind of goofier person. And I feel like I'm more goofy now than what I was before, because I think I was like shackled to be.
Well, you found some more happiness in your life and joy, and you also learned a lot about yourself, right? You kind of opened some doors that weren't closed before.
Absolutely.
And I think by having different interests of your own, it makes you more interesting too, right? You have more to contribute to the world, to talk about things like that.
Absolutely. And I just feel like I wouldn't have had that space if I didn't have that conversation with my family of like, I need to find time for me to find joy too. Like I'm supporting everybody else and finding time for their joys. I'm taking my kids to their play dates. I'm making sure my husband has the time for his hobbies, but I wasn't doing any of that for me. And it wasn't because my family wasn't willing to support me in doing that. It was just I wasn't asking for it and making sure everybody saw that it was a priority, right?
You're so worried about, like, you're in that trap of that spiral of feeling selfish, feeling like if you don't do it, it's not going to get done or not going to get done right.
Right.
Those sort of things, or that they're going to just miss you terribly and they're going to be traumatized if you're gone for an hour.
Right. And there is like a learning curve for everybody, right? Because like in the
Absolutely.
beginning, it wasn't perfect. Like in the beginning, I would take that little bit of time. And you brought up an excellent point, how like then I would come back and like maybe like the dishes weren't done, or maybe like, something wasn't done to like the level that I preferred. And that was really hard to let go of, right? Like I'd be like, see, this is why I don't need to be going out and doing this time. Otherwise this fails. But that's not really fair to me and to my family, because how is my family ever going to learn to, be able to see the tasks that the mom mental load has been taking on, and see that as an opportunity for them to take on something as a team as well.
That's a great point. It's not something we really touched on in the now that you're saying that.
Well,
like
Mother's Day just brings it out of me.
Another added benefit of like finding time for yourself.
Yeah. And I just feel like, and then me fighting that like perfectionist, that was where because that's where that comes from. Like the dishes not being done or not being done right. Well, who says that the way that I'm doing it is the right way, right? It was just me, you're right, controlling, having like this perfectionism element that I needed to just release. Like I needed to work through. And so you just have to be prepared for everybody to have some bumps and bruises on that starting point, right? And then it gets easier as you practice it. And then everybody it becomes like a new norm, right?
Yes.
But a norm where everybody's cup's full, as opposed to just mom on empty, everyone else thriving. That's an awful model.
But I mean, that's the reality for a lot of families, and
including us. Yeah,
absolutely.
we were there.
Absolutely. And get to a point where you're like, that's not okay. And you find the art of hobbiness and you realize that there's so many
opportunities and there's a community out there. It's not just you. And like, if you're, 40 and listening to this right now, it's not too late. Like we're 40 and we're doing this, right? Like I think we get into the fog, and I feel like it's when the fog starts to lighten up, that's when you're like, I need to seize my moment, right? That's when we would recommend that you start being like, get in there, girl. Like, find it in your time. And I would say for me, it was, a couple of months of really kind of making sure to find that 10 minutes here and there. And then that time kind of went more, because you don't want to go from 0 to girls trip, because that's going to shock your system, right? You just want to start off with finding like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think we kind of started with that. Well, we started the podcast, which is a couple of 3 hours a month. That was like for the big chunk of time there doing hobbies on our own. And I felt like that was a perfect starting point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't want to take up everybody's Mother's Day, because right now we should all be brunching. We should all be gossiping and talking with our besties and having the best time ever. So basically the message that we want you to walk away with on this beautiful Mother's Day is that it doesn't necessarily always have to be about asking for gifts on this day or trying to create this perfect day that maybe won't live up to expectations. Use this day to find that grace for yourself and have those conversations with your family about, you just want to find time for you and be creative. And I think your family will be fully supportive. And this is no better day than today to start it.
Well said. Boom. Well said. Well, we hope you enjoy your Mother's Day.
Yes.
And we will catch you next time on The Art of Hobbiness.
Happy Mother's Day, Erin.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to The Art of Hobbiness. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review. And for more Erin and Tam fun, be sure to follow us on all socials for behind-the-scenes footage on our journey to find hobbiness.